Good evening, folks. Good evening, everybody. I hope you can all hear me. I expect to have a good show for tonight. Good one planned. Hold on a second. Let me clear my throat a little bit. Yes, the weather has been a little bit crazy around here. Around in various portions of Florida, the weather's been pretty bad. Thankfully, it looks like I'm not going to be hit too much. Going to be some rain, some nasty wind, but I don't think I'm going to be crushed too badly. Hopefully, we'll see. Okay, it looks like we got a pretty full house in here already. Let me get this video turned down, and then we can welcome you folks in here. Fine, folks. Where'd I put the video? 1 second. All right, and okay, first off, let's say welcome everybody in. Let's say hi to everybody. IC847, can't wait to watch on replay. It's one's gonna, IC, you're the best, IC. I can't wait to have hopefully you leave a comment, let me know what you think. But thank you for coming in, as always. Rosebud, welcome in. The doctor is in surgery, I guess you could say that. Welcome in, Detective Coaches. Nirvana, good to see you. Hello, Dr. Phil. Hi to all the great people. Reddit community post. Thank you. You're doing well. Praying for the people going through the hurricane. Yes, indeed, Nirvana. I'm pretty blessed. It looks like I'm gonna be fortunate to avoid the worst of it. I'm saying a prayer. I know a little bit about hurricanes. God knows I've been through enough of them. And it looks like this one, I don't know how it's gonna result. We're gonna hear out of the areas where it's hitting. It looks like it's hitting around Tampa right now. We're going to hear tomorrow, or maybe by tomorrow night, how bad it was. Because it's a very interesting weather phenomenon. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I've been following it. And there's some kind of a shearing wind on the coast that's causing the hurricane to stop before it hits land. And it's actually causing it to weaken. At the same time, it's causing it to stay there longer. So the area where it's hitting is getting more total time with the hurricane there, but it's going to be not hitting them as strongly as it could have. So I don't know if it's going to be better or worse in the end. Welcome to JV. Hopefully you're having a good evening. Purple Lilacs. Hey, everyone. Wooly, good to see you. Spooky Muse, good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening. Yes, please, everybody. Be sure to hit that like button. It's an easy way to support the channel. And also it helps a lot is if anybody would like to share a link to the stream or to the replay, on your social media, if you have any friends or anything like that, that always helps a lot. And that's another free way to help out the channel a lot. House of Hannibal, welcome in, buddy. Like button is activated. Thank you very much. Yellow Moon, hey chat, good to see you, Yellow Moon. Fallen Angel, good to see you again. All right, I think we got most of you welcomed in here. Yes, praying for Florida, absolutely. Hippie Easter, good to see you. Good to see it. And Rose Store Reacts, good to see you too. Rose Store Reacts, I should have mentioned House of Hannibal, excellent channel. Be sure to check him out. He does a lot of coverage, a lot of lolcow types, a lot of funny stuff. And Rose Store Reacts also has a great channel. She does tarot card readings, which is something, like I said, I know nothing about, but that's very interesting. So if you're into that, be sure to check her out. Also covers a lot of girl world subjects. What's up, Elizu? How are you today? Mouse Toes, good evening. We got so many people here. All right, I think we're almost caught up. Welcome in, Fiona's Mom. Well, hopefully, Miami? Geez, let me think. Miami shouldn't be getting hit too badly, thankfully. So hopefully should be all right. Or she should be all right. Whoever it is should be all right. Yeah, Miami should hopefully escape the worst of it, but still saying a prayer. Hopefully everything will be okay. Indeed. Oh yes, good advice, JB. Be sure to do that as well. Get your chat settings on all comments. That way you don't miss anything. That way you can see all the fun details. Oh, he's working her hard. He's working her like a rented mule. All right, now speaking of Chantal, were you at something interesting to start? She's not here yet. I don't know if she's going to be here tonight, but a friend of the channel, Otanky, I'm going to post a link to her videos. She actually did some video edits of Foodie, and we're going to be showing those edits in just 1 second here. The edit here is actually Foodie Beauty being compared to Life by Jen and a recent grocery haul. Foodie's recent cheese grocery haul compared to a video Life by Jen did shortly. I don't know about how shortly, but before she passed, obviously, while she was still alive. Let's look at the similarities, because and Otanky is the person who did it. I'm going to put a link to the video. Be sure to give Otanky a follow if you haven't already. But yes, all right, let's watch this video really quick. I think you're going to like this. This is Life by Jen combined with Foodie.
Everybody, so I'm going to just do the grocery haul.
I got some mozzarella cheese string cheese. I got some shredded mozzarella. I also got some cubed cheddar cheese. And a pack of the sliced pepper jack cheese.
We just now, just yesterday,
Look at this. Look at this. It's uncanny. I mean, this is only about a minute and a half. It's very intense, but just look at this. This is, I mean, the products are not exactly the same, but it just feels like the same exact energy here, isn't it?
Onion cream cheese bread, as well as a container of the garden vegetable cream cheese bread. I got 2 blocks of the regular cream cheese.
We were talking the other day. Who buys this much cheese? You know who buys this much cheese? Life by Jen bought this much cheese. It's shocking.
Of cottage cheese, cubed mild cheddar cheese, a package of the pepper jack cheese sticks, string cheese.
That's not
a bag
nice.
of the shredded Monterey.
That's not nice.
And for anybody not aware, this is just from Foodie's grocery haul just last week.
Istanbul cheese. Got 2 blocks of cheese. I had a coupon for 85 cents off, and I bought 2.
And this I want to
So I
try.
got a cheddar and a
It
Kobe
looks
jack,
like some kind of
2 containers of blue.
Anyway, yes. So I think you guys have the idea. Actually, no, it's only another 30 seconds. Let me let the rest of it run.
Cheese crumbles,
Like spices,
mild
like that.
cheddar cheese, a package of the pepper jack cheese sticks, string cheese, a bag of the shredded Colby Monterey jack.
It's crazy.
cheese, a bag of the shredded mozzarella.
I didn't give you bread, so you treat me this way? That's not nice.
I am so in love with her
That's
title.
not nice.
Even with the cat, I mean, it's just, there's the whole thing. It's not just the similarity in the products, but just everything. This is just such a spooky video for Halloween, right?
Remember, especially you, Chantal, be the love, be the light, and do good things. Bye, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
And she's got a whole bunch of these. She has a whole playlist of these that she's made. And obviously we're not going to watch all of them, but yeah, let me post the link one more time. This is Otanky's video, her channel. Definitely be sure to check her out. It's very spooky for Halloween. We're probably going to watch another one of these maybe next week or the week after. But yeah, I think we're going to space these out. So that's our little intro for the night. Okay. So now let me pull up the I'm going to let this run let the bumper run for a second, and I'm going to pull up the video that I plan to do tonight. And I also have a stream or a podcast that I'm reacting to tonight. I think you're going to really like. It's about, got to be careful because YouTube doesn't like these words. It's about irregular eating, we'll say. I know that YouTube gets weird about that. Eating in an improper way and the harm that it can do. So we're going to be covering that later tonight. I think that's going to be an interesting one. And it's called the Fab Fatties. It's a podcast by some extremely morbidly obese women in this case. And they are talking about how disordered eating is bad for you and how it's going to harm you. And then they go on to talk about how any kind of a diet, any kind of healthy eating, that's disordered. Don't do that. They're saying. So, yeah, it's a pretty crazy vid. Okay, so I've got a few videos here from Foodie. We don't have time to watch every one of them, but we are going to watch some of them at least. And I wanted to do kind of like a retro react. I got this one from Marley Hendrix. This one here is kind of like a retro react with Foodie's old weigh-ins. And I want to get your opinion on what you think of these various weigh-ins, if you think they're accurate. And I'm also going to cover some current Foodie as well. But I want to cover some of this like retro Foodie first. So let me share this tab. I got this from Marley Hendrix, a channel hopefully you're all subscribed to already. But this I think is a fantastic. It might be a bit disorienting. It might be a little bit disorienting in some doses. But okay, let's let it hear the current one. So this one here is from Marley Hendrix.
Hello, Foodie Beauty.
I
know too much is not good, so too much of anything is not good for anybody. That's the whole point of my lifestyle change.
All right, guys, so here's a weigh-in. Don't mind the blurring, it's just,
Let me, you know what, it's sped up just a little bit, but I don't think it's to a problem. Okay, so this is Foodie's recent weigh-in that she's showing that just happened like a couple days ago. For anybody not aware, Foodie's just got back on like a new health kick, and she's decided that she's going to be doing everything super healthy, apparently. She's going to be copying whatever Salah does, because that works. Salah's going to be responsible for her weight, and it's all going to starting off with him, I guess, supervising her weigh-in. Let's look at it. Let's see the weight. So this is from the recent one.
Foodie Beauty.
I know too much is not good, so too much of anything is not good for anybody. That's the whole point of my lifestyle change.
all right, guys, so here's a weigh-in. Don't mind the blurring, it's just, I don't want you guys to see my silhouette. The scale is reflective. Don't mind the stain here on the scale, I just noticed that now. But I'm just showing you guys that my scale cannot be tampered with. There's no tear option or anything like that. In the back, it's just basically where you can change the unit between pounds and kg and the battery.
Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So,
I have to mention this. I don't know if I mentioned this last week or not, but I do believe it's possible to calibrate those scales incorrectly. I don't know how you calibrate those scales, but I believe that if you turn it on and you have a weight sitting on it when you turn it on, it causes it to register the weight incorrectly. So I don't know what Foodie maybe did something like that. She could have calibrated it wrong. Who's to say?
this is going to be a weigh-in and discussion kind of video, as you saw.
Welcome to Kibbaleta.
I did say yesterday I was going to have Salah film me getting on the scale, but then I'm like, I just, sometimes he's busy and like he's not around when I want to weigh myself, or he's still sleeping, or which was the case today when I woke up. I want to weigh myself right
Welcome
in the morning
late night
when I
off.
wake up,
Missed
and have an empty stomach, and I like to do it without any, getting all dressed up and everything. So that's what I did. I weighed myself, and I showed you the scale because I'm not gonna, I don't care what haters say about the scale. I just wanted to show you once and for all that it can't be tampered with. There's no
Can't be tampered with. It's not possible.
There's no setting the scale, whatever. Okay. Salah does weigh himself with that scale, and it's accurate
Yes,
for him.
exactly.
So.
Like Marley Hendricks is pointing out, the video was edited. She didn't show us a full cut. And why didn't she show Salah standing on the scale first? That's what everybody asked for. Foodie acts like she's been accommodating people with the weigh-ins. We've been asking for a long time, and I'll admit, if she does a video with Salah standing on it first and it's heavily edited, it's still not going to be good enough. But if she does a full, uncut, one solid, unedited video where Salah gets on the scale, shows his weight, then she gets on the scale and shows her weight, it'll be hard to do it without having, I guess, no matter what she does, the weight's going to be out of frame for at least a moment. But it certainly was not anything near that. The video she had was heavily edited.
Or whatever it's called. There's no setting the scale, whatever. Okay. Salah does weigh himself with that scale, and it's accurate for him. So that's good enough for me.
Good for you, Jamie Carpenter.
For my haters, I don't care. Whatever. Who cares? Yeah. So that's what my weight is.
Nothing wrong with
and I'm
cutting
really happy
something out.
It's going down.
Yes, excellent point. I totally. And at the scale in the Science Center, I think that one only went up to 350. Or excuse me, 150 kilograms. I think that was the maximum for that one. Thank you, Jamie. That's what we're about to get a look at in just a moment, actually. This is actually the video right here. That's what this whole video is, the premise of this video is about. Let's compare Chantal's current weigh-in, where she was 337, right? We all know what she looks like now. Let's look at her old weigh-ins and see what she looked like then.
Good morning.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Hey,
So this is from 2019.
How are you? Oh, no,
Let me post a link to this video as well. I got this from Marley Hendricks' channel.
Well, it is 7 a.m. Just took my antibiotic. I'm starting to feel a bit better. If
That
anything,
sounds
I'd say just
tasty.
being tired in general is the major symptom. The tummy issues seem to be slowly improving, I think.
Welcome in,
I don't go
Nancy.
to the bathroom nearly as much. Like I was going 12 times a day. Diarrhea, and now I am. It's pretty much solid.
Oh,
it's so weird.
I think I know what you mean. Like because I know that the scale has those rubber feet on the bottom. They're supposed to lay flat. If you put something under the rubber feet so they don't lay evenly, that can cause the weight to not register properly. If you put it on carpet, there's all kinds of ways you can cause the weight to not register properly. Although, like Kenny J said earlier, she thinks that Foodie's weight might be a little bit lower than we think, but it's still, nobody believes it's as low as what Foodie's saying. That's for sure.
Weird. Just having a normal poop. It's so weird. Yeah, it's maybe 3 times a day. So
sometimes you don't realize. I don't always.
I'm going to try to do what I can with the energy I have. After I clean my kitchen, my house is
That's a classic.
of some really bad cleaning. It's embarrassing.
Welcome in, Susie.
I also want to weigh myself
Welcome in,
and
Susie
see
Q.
if I've even dropped a couple pounds, a few pounds, whatever. After that, probably do a weekly weigh-in. And we're just going to take it one meal at a time today.
Thank you.
For breakfast.
All right. Lucy Jane Cruz, thank you. I thought it was something like that. I wasn't exactly sure, but I don't remember exactly, but I knew there was a way to adjust the weight. I wasn't sure exactly how it was done, but thank you. Because I remember now, if you stand on the scale when it's turning on, the weight is not accurate. You have to turn it on and then get off of it. You can't stand on it while it's turning on. If you do that, the weight is going to be under. So yeah, if she had like a weight sitting on the scale when she turned it on, you know, a 50 pounds weight, or she had one leg standing on it, or she was sitting in a chair and then she put her leg on it, there are a million, well, maybe not a million, but there's certainly plenty of ways she could have manipulated the weight besides just the good old edited video.
I already reached for my Uber Eats.
Welcome in,
and
Lucy
was
Jane.
like, oh man, looking at all these crates.
Welcome in, Queen of Awesome.
You know, wanted to order from
Hope
Cora,
you're having a
nice
good night.
coffee, and a crate with chocolate and fruit, and then like sausage and eggs. And then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna make my own breakfast. I'm just taking it one meal at a time, saying no, and trying to come up with my own.
It's uncanny how Foodie is talking almost the same exact mess. I mean, how similar this is to now.
Alternative. So without further ado, let's get to. All right, I'm gonna weigh myself. Hello. I'm gonna weigh myself in my bathroom on the main level, so you can't see how messy my kitchen is. I hope you can hear the scale. All right.
Very real mouse toes.
Body weight is 391.8 pounds.
She's so excited to be 391. Okay, now, do we think that Foodie was genuinely happy to be 391? Or do you think she was just a better actress then? Like, why is it that if she was so happy to be 391, but she's so unexcited, I don't want to say unexcited, but she's so casual about being down to 330. That's 60 pounds less. You think she'd be jumping for joy. You think that a woman who struggles with her weight like that, who's been eating like crazy, who's down, you know, another, 60 pounds from this video here, you think she'd be excited. You think she'd be happy. Oh, well, yeah, I don't know. I guess I lost another 30 pounds. Oh, well, she's defensive about the weight loss. When somebody loses weight for real, they have nothing to hide. They're not going to be defensive. It's going to be the opposite. They're going to want people to see the proof instead of trying to hide it. Foodie is such a liar.
Body weight is 391.
Why was she so happy with it then and so unhappy with it now?
Okay, let me do that again, because that's pretty awesome.
Ooh, interesting.
Body weight is 390.
I was planning to.
Body weight is.
I was planning to watch a clip from the museum actually after. I wasn't going to watch this full video because it's 25 minutes. I wasn't going to watch all the way. I was actually going to watch a clip from the museum with you folks after this.
390.
So everyone, please stay tuned for that. It's going to be really good.
That's pretty awesome. That's when they weighed me at the hospital. I was 400, I think 0.4. Anyway, that's a good first weigh-in. I wasn't expecting that at all. I'm back in the 300s, and that made me really happy because even if I lose just like 8% of my body weight, which is less than 30.
But the marriage license, that's private. But her living, but the why Salah couldn't come to Thailand, that's private. But she shits herself. That's yeah. Why wouldn't she want to share that?
30 pounds. That should help to improve my liver function. So. To do a haul for you guys, but I'm gonna wear one of the outfits today, so I'll show you one of the outfits today because I really need to do laundry and I really want to wear one of my new outfits, so I'll show you guys.
Okay, now I wish that she had the sizes on these outfits in here, but I've got a feeling that these were smaller than 5X, because right now Foodie is busted out of a 5X, and a 5X in 2024, almost 2025, is certainly not smaller than it was back in 2019. Was Foodie wearing a 5X back then? I'd be surprised if she was. To be fair, I didn't watch her that long ago.
When I get dressed later. My makeup kind of matches today. So
but just look how much smaller she looks. Look how much smaller. Look at her face, her eye sockets. She still had eye sockets back then. And this isn't just makeup and filters. Yes, she's got makeup on. Yes, the hair is very slimming. But still, this is a much smaller woman here. Just look at how her clothes fit. Look at her shoulders. Foodie has very narrow shoulders. Now she has these big, broad linebacker shoulders. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did my hair actually feel like myself today? So minus the breathing and chest pain, because I do have that pulmonary embolism I'm trying to get rid of. So don't mind that. But anyways, other than that, all good. I'm just really trying to listen to my body, and like when I'm really hungry, I'll
Welcome
eat.
in, Bucky Beck.
But when I got my blood done. So this is a 15 calories.
Good point.
meal.
Good point. Thank you, Jamie.
I'm not gonna lie and pretend that.
Forgot about that.
I'm gonna cut out all takeout. I don't think I can do that.
391 is pretty big. I mean, but to be fair though, I mean, it's possible to get up there without realizing. I was talking to somebody the other day, like a friend I know through gaming, and he wasn't heavy, but he used to be over 500 pounds. I got to talk to him and find out his story, but I just thought that was wild. I found, you know, we talk all the time about weight, but to actually find somebody who's lost that amount of weight, who's not on you know, who's not a YouTuber or something, you know, like that's really interesting. But yeah, 391, you're getting heavy there, you know, that's serious weight. It's nothing to play around with. So here's Foodie at a more recent weigh-in from like 2020, I think.
Cold turkey, honestly.
This is her eating a meal.
And what I'm going for is changes I can be consistent with, and
all these weigh-ins all happened the same way. Apparently, I didn't see all these live when they first happened, but I can tell that these are happening right when she decided to take her health seriously, quote unquote, again. These all happened. She must have gotten heavy or eaten a bunch of junk food or whatever and decided, hey, I got to take my health seriously. So I'm going to weigh myself and eat salad on camera. And that's what we got here.
Using my Fitness Pal, and that's where I'm starting. And I know I can make this, but I didn't want to. Right now,
I agree,
just wanna
Lucy Jane. I think that's a great point. I think that's an excellent point. If Foodie really is losing weight as much as she says, then that's even worse than gaining. Because I do not believe that she could, if she really is losing that much weight, you're right. It has to be something very serious, a very serious illness, and it's going to manifest in some very serious symptoms shortly. Because you can't just rapidly lose weight like that while eating, unless there's something very wrong with you.
Stuff like that, you know? So we reverse some of these illnesses. I think there's two, just like, even if you make it homemade, there's just something about getting it out, you know? That's what I love to do.
To fit properly, I think so.
What I'm trying to do is probably have the best of both worlds. Scrolling through Uber Eats and...
She looks much prettier here. The hair especially, I think, helps.
Seeking out healthier options, or trying to fit things in my Fitness Pal. That's all I can do right now. So
her hormones were not so
watching
whacked out.
This video, and I'll see you in the next one.
All right, I'm gonna wait
3X.
here.
Okay, Hippista, that's what I was thinking. Because Foodie wants us to believe that she is somehow lost 60 pounds but went up 2 sizes. And I don't mean 2 sizes like from, an 8 to a 12. I mean she went up from a 3X to a 5X. That's like what, 8 sizes? That's a pretty big difference when you go up 2 X's. So for her to go up 2 X's, she's got up 2 full X's, because now the 5X is tight on her. She's got up 2 full X's, but she wants us to believe she's down, what, 60 pounds? It doesn't make any sense.
Let's see here.
It was
393.8.
I'm trying to hide my personal stuff on here.
That's
another daily vlog on Monday. I don't know if that happened. I don't think so.
A heart murmur is not automatically dangerous, but if you're very heavy and you already have other heart problems, it can be a sign of something bad. So let's look at her weight here, just to get a perspective. And notice how when she filmed the weight here, she stepped on the scale, she waited, she stepped off, and then she showed us. There's no edit. She didn't cut this video. She didn't film it from the side. She's showing a weight that looks believable. Everything about this weigh-in feels authentic, whereas the other one felt very BS. And this one, I'm not saying there's nothing manipulated in this one. Maybe there is. But it feels authentic to me, at least compared to the current one. Oh, and welcome into everybody who's come into the channel. All of the chatters, you're always much appreciated. Hopefully everybody can leave a like if you're enjoying the show. Please click that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of this content. And also thank you to all of the lurkers. and all of the people commenting on the replay. Much appreciated. Thank you very much for your participation.
393.8. I'm trying to hide my personal stuff on here.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I did a daily vlog on Monday. I don't know if that happened. I don't think so.
I'm saying a prayer
I
for
weighed
your
myself
friend,
Tuesday on the
Fiona.
2nd, 395.4. And as you can see on the 10th here, I am 393.8. Inspector Beezer. I'm hyper. You're gonna get it.
Yeah, I'll say one thing about weight. It's odd. Weight is relative because some people function very well at a higher weight, and I'm not saying that it's ever healthy to be hundreds of pounds overweight. Obviously, you don't ever want to be massively overweight, but some people seem to function a little bit better. I know that I would be like 40, 50 pounds overweight, and I felt fine. Like I mean, I like being a healthier weight, but I felt pretty good when I was a little bit overweight. Like when I got heavier than that, I really started to feel it. But I felt okay, even like 30, 40 pounds overweight.
Taco Bell. So, as you can tell, I have Taco Bell today. And I thought I had more sauces. We're just gonna chill, and we're gonna eat whatever the hell we want to eat.
Oh, Foodie's giving up salad.
I got a bunch of Taco Bell.
Foodie's giving up salad, she said, because the salad gave her a stomachache. So we're gonna watch one more of these throwback clips, and then we're gonna watch the science museum because that was really interesting. A little bit I saw.
Here.
Let me cue that up.
Let me get this all set up, and I'll be right back.
Post one more link to
I've
this
layered
video.
my tacos and my gordita crunches. I need a fork. I got Coldy in the house. So let's start this mukbang. Welcome back, guys. Welcome. Don't mind my dish rack in the back. I forgot to put it away. Get my hair out of the way. Now, as you can tell by the title, I have decided that let me just get set up here. Let me put some jalapenos. A lot of you are gonna think
She
I'm
does seem
delusional.
happier here.
A lot of you are
Yes.
gonna think I'm crazy. Burrito.
She does look
Burrito
so much
today.
happier here. I think that's and you can't just say it's because of the food, because she's eating more junk food now than ever, right? So why do you think that she was happier then? Because I think she clearly was, right? One second here. I'm just getting something queued up for in a second. All right. Let's play again. Oops.
I already do anyway, right? So at this point, it should stop surprising you. All right, and I'm saying this with all. Like,
Oh wow,
eagerness here.
that's.
Is the
So I'm sorry to hear that. I actually gained some weight from a medication once. I didn't gain that much weight because I realized it pretty quickly, and I was thankfully able to stop taking the medication. But that absolutely is a real thing for anybody who's not aware. There are medications that can cause rapid weight gain, and that's very unfortunate to hear that you had to go through that. But thankfully, it sounds like you're headed back on the right track now, right?
fire sauce hot? Probably not.
Yeah, agreed. Totally, it's like a different person in a lot of ways.
But as we all know, it's so easy to spiral out of control.
That's a good point. I agree.
Mukbangs, especially delicious food, fast food. Now, it's easy to gain weight if you don't have a plan, if you're not careful, if you have no structure. I always tell myself, I'm not going to bring my weight into my videos, and I'm not going to talk about it and just do mukbangs and eat what I want. Well, I don't want to gain weight.
It froze her out.
I want to lose weight.
Yes, please,
But
Lady
I don't
Ad
want
Hoc.
to
Thank
eat
you.
like healthy all the time. I want to be able to eat what I want too, as well. And plus, I like doing this
Look a bit
for my
stackish.
videos.
I think that's a good point. I think that we can make fun of Pete's and all that stuff, but Pete's was a genuine friend to Foodie, even though she wasn't much of a friend to him. And I don't know if he's much of a friend in the sense that he doesn't seem like he's worth very much. I mean, actually, on second thought, he's put a lot of money into her, so I guess he was good for something. But yeah, he genuinely liked her, even if he wasn't much of a guy. At least he seemed to really care about her and her family. I'm not gonna say they were a tremendous like help for Foodie in the sense that she was. They helped her control herself mentally. They helped her improve herself or anything like that. But they seem to love her, right? So that's something.
Eating delicious food, trying new foods, everything. You know how I feel. Now the thing is like, big cheesy jalapeno bite. I know people are gonna have strong opinions of this. That's fine. That's completely normal.
really
like I said,
does.
this is very unconventional way of doing things. Very. I'm not encouraging anyone to do
wow.
it. And of course, a part of me, because
That's
it's not
crazy.
conventional, I
That's-
feel like you. I'm like,
hard.
can this really be? Can this really happen? I'm gonna try it. If it doesn't work, well, back
Sorry
to the
to hear
drawing
that.
board. I don't know.
I think so too. He's a very loyal guy in that sense.
But I think it will because, as you saw at the beginning with my weigh-in.
So yeah, we could just. We don't need to watch the whole rest of this because I think this is. We got the point here. But this is Foodie allegedly at a heavier weight who looks nothing like the current Foodie. This woman here looks at least 80 pounds lighter, maybe more. But it's a massive difference. And this is the woman who's allegedly, wants us to believe that she is lighter now. I don't believe it. Nobody believes it. Even Chantal doesn't believe it. Because when you listen to her, she's very defensive. She doesn't talk about it like, oh, how could you even say, are you kidding me? Take a look at me. Obviously, I've lost weight. Look how much smaller I am. Look at how much better my clothes fit, right? Like, that's what she would be saying if she really lost weight. And if she has lost weight, like someone said in the chat, if she has lost weight because of an illness or something, then that's nothing to brag about. This is the intro from Barbecue Chillin' who did this one. All right, here we go. Let me get the intro, post the video. All right, we're gonna watch this other video now. Let me switch it over. Share this one instead. This is the one here from the museum. I thought this one was really good. I really like this one. Foodie's also running on a new treadmill. There's really very little to see on that. We'll watch like a minute of that, but I really want to watch the museum video. I think that's more interesting. Foodie, by the way, spoiler, anybody who's not aware, Foodie got a new treadmill, and yes, she's too fat for the treadmill. The treadmill has a weight limit of 150 kilograms. Even her lying, fake BS weigh-in was 152 kilograms. So she's still too heavy for the treadmill, even with her lies. So I don't know how that works out.
Every so often.
I do it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm going to follow my own advice and give a like. There we go.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just like non-stop sweating. So did you get a ticket for this place too?
Yeah.
Oh, it's for kids. You want to go? It's for kids. There's a lot of kids.
There's, I think, some scales and this the technology science.
Okay.
Okay, so let me introduce
keep
the
it in
video.
scale.
Let me turn up the volume a little bit
Vertical
because I
jump.
can't really hear it. Hold on.
What do you got to do?
Let me slow down the speed just a little bit because it feels like it's sped up a little bit too much. That's one thing. I like these people doing the edits, but I don't know if it's because of YouTube, but everybody speeds up their videos so much I can't really hear it very well anymore. Does anybody else have that problem? I like to watch the edits, but a lot of channels are speeding up their videos by a lot, and it's hard to hear them sometimes.
Let's jump, okay.
Oh.
Can I jump in?
I'm actually going to look for a different edit. I think I'm going to go for the original because this just sounds really weird. Let me find the
Oh,
original.
I didn't
Hold on.
capture my jump.
Well done. Come on, where's it?
You have to press something? Oh. It'll
One
say
second,
no jump.
folks.
Okay.
I got to find the original.
Please leave that. Okay. No jump. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa.
You can jump 25 centimeters high.
The area.
Okay, we're going to watch the original because that one is just sped up too much. I can't really hear it. And I slowed it down. The audio quality was really bad when I slowed it down.
There's a big shark here. Rawr.
It's quiet.
Hello guys, how are you doing all?
Hey, King Beezer.
Hi, Queen Beezer.
Is it too quiet? Can you folks hear?
All right.
I can turn myself down a little bit. Hold on a second. Is the volume all right on this one?
So, guys.
Because I can't get. I can make myself a little bit quieter if I'm too.
Here.
If I'm too quiet.
Scientific Center.
I can speed it up just a little bit. Because I do want to speed it up a little bit, but I don't want to speed it up so fast you can't even understand what's going on.
Hello, Lorena T.
There we go.
Mariah,
Okay, so let me finish welcoming everybody in.
Halima.
Anybody else come in here? I agree, Hippieista.
We got tickets to Scientific Center. Busy.
She might have some serious organ swelling. And agree, Jamie. Let's see her in something that she used to wear.
Hard to hear me? Let me turn my volume up.
Oh, wow.
It's good, okay. Hey, Becca.
Do you think maybe that it's possible she might have some kind of a cyst or something, or maybe like some severe organ swelling? Because at this point, I wouldn't put it past her.
Bailey.
Wow.
Philippa.
I mean, that's a lot of weight that she
Okay,
gained.
we're gonna go to the
To
aquarium
attribute it all
first.
to.
Like a spaceship.
Yeah.
I mean, what about all the? I mean, what about all the mukbangs? I mean, maybe she does have some hormonal issues, but what about all the thousands? What about all the family meals that she eats? What about those?
Hey, Lisa P.
Okay, hold it for now.
And is the volume good on this, or is it? Yeah, it's a little bit quiet. I'm gonna adjust my volume a little bit. Hold on.
So we're going to the aquarium first. We're using Salah's iPhone, so no filters.
All right, I'm turning myself down a little bit. Hopefully, this should improve the balance a little bit.
Oh, this is where I got bit. Okay,
Maybe just a
I'm
little
gonna
bit
hand it
more.
over to
Here we
Salah.
go. This should hopefully improve the balance.
Okay. Here we go. Wow. There used to be stingrays here.
Fishy fish.
Yeah.
And we're not going to watch the whole zoo segment because it's a little bit too slow. Yeah, exactly. She ate all those family meals. That wasn't just the picos.
Fishy.
Yeah, the jump that she does. You folks have to see this jump that she does.
Hello. Which one of you bit my finger last time?
It's not even countable.
Ascites. Yes, the stolen guts.
Oh, cool.
Okay, the peritoneal and abdominal cavity. Interesting. Oh, hippie Easton,
they
you got
run
a
away.
treadmill? Excellent.
I don't think you're supposed. Oh, koi
Nice.
fish.
What could be Capricorn at J? Could be swelling due to
Beautiful.
liver
Wow.
and kidney malfunction.
Look at them all.
Absolutely. Okay, let me
Very
fast
fun.
forward a little bit because this part of the video is impossible to see anything. There was a couple parts I thought were really funny.
Oh my gosh, babe.
The where's the penguins? Because she looked just like a penguin.
I can't see anything.
Yeah, nothing in here either. I'm gonna grab some water, babe.
Salah, this is uninspiring live.
Ooh.
All right, here's the part at the end that's funny. I'm gonna find the penguin part also, but here's the part at the end that's really good.
Okay.
Here's the
that's it.
penguins. Okay. Sorry,
They're
guys.
cute. Oh,
Adorable.
you can also sit here.
Watering.
Yeah.
Okay.
The flowing.
Yeah, the flow.
The flow.
You can eat sea bream.
Here's the funniest part. Everybody, listen carefully.
The penguins.
The penguins.
It's me.
It's me.
Penguins.
Did you hear that?
Like the penguins.
The penguins. It's me.
Wow.
I love this.
The penguins.
It's me.
The African
It's me.
penguins. They're playing like the penguin first. Hello there.
Oh, look at him.
All right, the penguins are
Hi.
cute. I like
Hi.
penguins.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's cute.
And I'll say this exhibit looks pretty nice. It looks pretty well
swimming.
kept.
Hi.
We don't have time to watch the whole zoo exhibit, but I actually thought the exhibits they had here seemed pretty nice. The animals all looked very healthy and well cared for, at least from what I saw.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the part where they go to the science museum because this is the funniest
On the
part.
surface of the water only. Upstairs.
Big fish.
Okay, so they leave the aquarium exhibit and they go into the science center.
Oh, but they don't have anything for the kids.
All right, here's where I think it gets really good.
Okay.
So the exit here.
Yeah.
Welcome in, A to C. Mine or
Can we
Salah's?
go again? No.
Okay, from here, I think.
We
You
can
go
just
this
sit
way?
here, right? That's Foodie's favorite
don't know.
part of the trip, the
Yeah.
bench.
You go this way. Go this way?
Okay, so I love the also one thing I love about
Okay,
when they go
that's
out
it.
is we get to look at Foodie in the wild. We get to look at her full body shot. Let me speed it back up just a little bit.
Babe, did you get a ticket for this place too?
Yeah.
Oh, it's for kids.
It's for kids, so it's perfect. It's exactly what you need.
You want
I'm sorry, I keep speeding it back up and slowing it down, but
I go with for kids. There's gonna be a lot of kids.
There's, I think, some scales on this
There's some scales.
technology science.
Okay.
She's like, oh, scales, perfect.
Yeah, let's see if there's a scale.
Let's see if there's a scale. She's so excited. Let's see if there's a scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, still fun. They're saying.
Okay.
So,
You could see Salah's feet.
so,
Oh, Foodie's feet. Somebody said her foot was looking black the other day. Can anybody confirm that? I mean, I
what's
didn't
this?
see it looking black, but it did look a little bit discolored.
balance test.
Balance test. What do you think Foodie is going to do best on, and what do you think she's going to do worst on out of these? The balance, the jump, the calorie counting? Because there's a few different things to choose.
127.
It's hard. You want to try?
Okay, so apparently this is a balance board. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with this. It's it looks like a board sitting on something round, and you try to hold your balance on it for as long as possible. And yeah, Foodie and Salah like a pair of
hard, eh?
pair of big kids. They looked bluish. Her Foodie's feet, wonderful. It was purplish. Okay, so it really did look bad.
Here we go. No,
It was the big toe. I thought that under the nail was dark. I remember.
cancel.
I want to see if there's a scale.
That's the only one that would fit her. And I'm not
Vertical
even
jump.
joking. I mean, I'm
Okay,
dead
what do you gotta
serious.
do?
They don't make scales over a certain weight at a lot of places. They just don't. Look at that. Okay, that is scary. Did anybody else see that? That was legitimate scary here. I'm gonna slow this down. This here, I'm surprised Foodie didn't twist her knee at the very least. Look at this. And I'm not saying that I was when I was at my heaviest, I could barely get off the ground. So I'm not proud to admit that. But when you get heavy, it's very hard to jump. I'm at Foodie's weight. She shouldn't even try to jump. She shouldn't even try it. Look at that. At Foodie's weight, she needs to keep both feet on the ground because that's only going to lead to an injury. That is so unsafe. She's not jumping. She's just pulling her feet off the ground and then putting them back really quickly. Watch what she does again. Salah's going to show her once more.
Look.
And of course, Salah doesn't bother to say, now, Foodie, please be careful. I don't want you to hurt yourself. He's just laughing. He's just watching, just thinking, hey, if she breaks her leg, are we going to have to shoot her? You know.
Oh, no, wait. Watch. Oh, I didn't capture my jump.
Well done. You can jump 1 centimeter high.
Well done. You can jump 1 centimeter high.
Oh my god, this is hilarious.
What is this?
Then show me. I'll try to jump.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Anybody else?
1 centimeter. Is that good? What's the average?
Oh, yes, I will, Fiona's mom. Keep my eyes open
Yeah.
for that.
Come on, reset.
You have to press something?
Salah, right? Salah's in his little sandals.
It'll say now jump. Okay.
Please leave that. Okay.
I agree, Lucy Jane.
Whoa.
Salah trying to cheat. He tried to cheat. He tried to cheat that jump by pulling his legs up. He tried to. That's if you hit yourself in the chest with your knees, that doesn't mean you can jump higher. But it was not a bad jump. It was an okay jump. .25 centimeters.
Can
Not
jump
bad.
25 centimeters high.
Not bad for somebody who doesn't really exercise. Put
Okay,
her
I gotta
down.
try again.
She breaks her leg.
Wait.
Yeah, she'd never get back up.
You will never give up.
Even Salah just said it. He said you'll never get up. Or you say you'll never give up. What did he say? You'll never get up or you'll never give up?
Okay. Whoa. Maybe it's like 5 centimeters now.
Wow. It's like 5 centimeters. Got 3 centimeters off the ground. Very impressive, Foodie. Very impressive.
1 centimeter is crazy.
It could be tough to jump, believe it. You know, vertical jumping is not easy.
Heartbeat drum.
Agreed, Fallen Angel. And I'm gonna say that, in fairness, when I was at my heaviest, which was a lot less than 350 pounds, I couldn't jump for crap. I maybe got like, what, 2 inches off the ground? I could maybe jump like 2 inches off the ground when I was at my heaviest. So, and now I can jump I can't jump. I used to be a good jumper, but I could probably make it like at least a foot off the ground now. If I was practicing, I could probably make it even more than that. But I think I could jump at least as high as Salah jumps. Right? It looks like she's gonna break her knee. That's just too much weight, Fallen Angel. I agree. It's just so much weight. Yeah, Salah's got a decent jump. For somebody who just sits around all day, it's a good jump. It's scary. It did it? Let me go back. We got it right here.
3. Maybe it's like 5 centimeters. Okay. Whoa.
Oh, I think I know what you think. I saw what you mean.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah, like she did look bigger when she was jumping. And she looks bigger here. Like, look at her here from the side. Look at how big she is here. And look at when she stands on the thing, how much smaller she looks when she finishes moving. Like, look right there. Look how big she is here. And then she like shrinks and then she disappears again. Look at that. Look at that.
You will never give up.
Foodie here is look how wide she is here. Look how wide she is here. And now she's backed out. Now she disappears. Now she disappears. She's half the size. Look at that. How does that work? How does that work?
You will never give up.
All right, Foodie, big, massive, huge. She's gone. Where'd she go? She disappears. She disappears. And then she comes back when she's in the air.
Like 5 centimeters.
Wow, thank you, Lucy Jane.
3.
Yep.
Well, 1 centimeter is crazy.
That's awesome, Monkey Mac. If you could get that working,
Heartbeat
that's fantastic. I believe you can do it.
Heartbeats?
Yeah, he does make fun of me. Salah is always cracking on Foodie. Sometimes it's funny, but sometimes it comes across a little bit mean. I can. Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit much.
I think I have arrhythmia. Let's
Yeah,
hear
her
your
heartbeat
heart.
was irregular. Let's listen to that again.
I think I have arrhythmia.
She's got a good her heartbeat. You know something? Who says Foodie's got no rhythm? Her heartbeat's got a natural swing. It's dun, 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 dun. She's got that jazz beat. Right? She's got rhythm.
Let's hear your heart.
It's like, you know that war drum? How? Like this?
I have arrhythmia. Yeah,
Like this?
hold them. Yeah.
Very small.
Oh my gosh. My heart is very fast.
Good for you, Monkey Mac. That's a good way to do it.
Because I'm more, what's this? Hang time.
I'll tell you, getting to your healthier weight to get in the gym. I know people say jump in the gym, you know, don't wait, and there's value to that. I got in the gym at my heaviest, and I don't regret it. But it's probably not a bad idea to make sure that you're at a healthier weight before you really go jump into that gym head first, right?
Time.
Hang time?
Hang on as long as you can. Okay.
Yeah, 9 here? No.
No.
Yeah, this place does look very cool and comfortable, but still, she's absolutely worn out. I thought this was such a funny little clip. This whole thing, this whole science center exhibit. The calorie bicycle, this is great.
What does that say? No.
Foodie can't use the bicycle because she couldn't use the one in the home gym either.
No, I can't.
She can't fit in there. She can't do that one. She's already worn out from that jump. That jump was scary.
Babe. The scale. Oh yeah. We're gonna make a healthy meal. Okay.
Agreed, hippieista. That kind of that's one thing I do agree there is that you got to do exercise that suits your body. At Foodie's body weight, she can do exercise. There's exercises she can do. But trying to do a high jump, trying to do high jumps is the last thing she needs to do. She's going to twist her knee like that. She needs something like water aerobics, maybe some walking, some light weightlifting, something very low intensity. And she just needs to do that for a lot, regularly. And that's what she needs to do. And she needs to eat healthy.
Okay, we're gonna have water. Oh, 0 calories. Salad.
Yes, it's like gym. French fried gun.
Kalari
We're gonna
bicycle,
have
I get what you're
salad.
saying.
Olives.
Zaytun.
Is that steak with oranges on it? No thanks.
White rice here.
Yeah.
Foodie's
Chicken
going to try to
breast?
break
Oh,
the
God.
glass to get the food. In
how many
case of
calories?
emergency, break the glass and give that to Foodie.
310.
Calm her down. Good night, Nancy.
Not much protein. Gotta have more protein.
Have a good sleep.
Bae. Now let's see
At this point,
what a fattening meal looks like, okay? We're gonna have
Great.
soda,
Soda? It's wrong, no.
spaghetti,
oh, the volume just kicked right up. Hold on. I don't know
Hamburger?
what just happened, but the volume just got really loud all of a sudden. So let me cut this down a little bit.
and pizza,
It's all junk.
and ice cream and a donut.
Oh my god, all this? This will be like 1 million calories.
Oh, that can't be right.
What?
193 calories. Okay, well, first of all, it's not right because it's only showing the ice cream. It's not showing the full meal.
They're wrong. Okay, so I guess I can eat ice cream.
No.
Foodie trying to cheat the menu. All right, this is not Foodie's bowels. You see how empty that is? You see how clean that is? This is not a representation of Foodie's bowels. Foodie's bowels would need to be full of like sawdust and motor oil.
Okay.
This is I love that. This whole segment is giving me. I'm really enjoying this entire segment. All right, this is the part that Fiona's mom said to watch. The height and all that. Let's look at this. Okay. So it's showing her height at what? Weight over height. 1.2 meters it's showing her at. So if anybody wants to do the math quickly, 1.2 meters is what her height is showed at. And 150 kgs. First of all, I think that the maximum weight on the scale is 150 kgs. I just think that's the case with this.
Wow.
It keeps her height keeps changing on it.
It's
not showing
accurate
her height
because
accurate.
our scale says like that.
Yeah. So 151, I'm even skinnier.
Screw the haters.
She's even skinnier. She's even skinnier. Screw the haters. And first of all, the weight never settles for even 1 second. It keeps going up and down.
I'm obese.
Not even 152.
It keeps going up and down.
Like
Why?
maximum 152.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
151 and half.
Hanging on to anything?
See?
Yeah, but it keeps going
What
up
she's
and down.
flying.
That's-
Flying.
What's going on?
Now do you. So we can see that it's accurate.
All I can say is I think it maxes out at 150. That's my belief. I just can't imagine how Foodie keeps going up in clothing sizes with their weight going down. Doesn't
Film
make
here?
sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't add up.
Yeah, about
This is right.
95
Yeah.
kg.
Probably.
I'm
Welcome in,
94,
Jenna
95.
Beck.
Yeah. there you
Probably
go.
did.
And tell me, like,
Hope you're having a good night.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, 3.9. Thank you, Lucy Jane. That did see 1.2 meters did not seem accurate to me. So there's something wrong with the measurement there. The machine is not working because that would be 3.9 feet tall. That is not accurate. She needs a horse scale or a truck scale, exactly. Yeah, so something's not accurate here.
And you are 6'3".
It showed his height as what? What did it show his height at?
tell me, like,
It's showing his height as 1.78 meters. Is that correct? No, that's too short. 1.78 meters, that's shorter than he is. 1.78 meters, I think that might even be shorter than me.
Yeah, there you go. And you are 6 foot.
Yeah, that's too short. Yeah, that's shorter than me. That's too short. Something, yeah, there's something screwy with that measuring system. Yes, they
king
both
visa
are
here.
like 6 feet, 6 inches too short or more.
Wait, this mirror is doing something wrong.
Yeah, it's not accurate. Not accurate. Whatever it is, it's not.
Babe, you are like moonwalker, like Michael Jackson when he was doing that breakdance.
Look at him now. Like I was trying the other years.
Oh, look at her compared to this other woman next to her, right? I know they got the mirror doing the effects, but still. And you know something, you folks are right. This really is more of like an area for kids. I will say that it's not like it's. I mean, I guess adults could go here, but I do agree. This is not. This is very much like an area designed for children. Like, I mean, I think an adult could have some fun here, but yeah, this is. The more I look at it, the more I see that this is mostly just for children. But it looks very nice for families, right? Like families can have fun here.
Wow.
It showed him as 1.78.
Oh, I'm skinny.
Yes, so you were correct, Fiona's mom. It was off.
So the haters can shut their big mouth, okay?
Haters
After
can
they,
shut our- we're
they
not
saw
shut
the
anything.
scale.
We're not haters. We're the scientific community.
What else you want to see? Yeah.
What's this thing?
So what's this device here?
Once you press start,
Reaction time or something?
press the button from which. Okay.
I respect your honesty, Eliza.
Go ahead.
I used to love these kind of places when I was a kid. I used to love these science centers. In fact, when I was a kid, I used to love these kind of places. There was one in South Florida called the Museum of Science and Discovery, or the Discovery Center. I don't remember the exact name. And there was one in Tampa that I went to, Museum of Science and Industry. And there was one in Miami I went to, the Miami Museum of Science. I used to go to all the museums when I was a kid. I used to always beg my parents. I used to beg my family. Whenever my family would come, whenever we would go anywhere, they always were like, "Where do you want to go?" I'd always say, "Well, I want to go to the museum. I want to go to the museum." I always used to go to the museum. I used to love to look at all this scientific stuff. I never became a scientist or anything, but I still enjoy it. Respect for the honesty. He does look a lot taller here. Oh, no problem, Nutty. Glad you can make it.
Oh, Nina, thank you for the super chat.
you for
Love you
coming in.
guys. Good to see more of you, Salah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nina.
We're just watching this segment with the. We're watching this segment here with the museum. It was really quiet in the beginning, so my volume got all mixed up. Now we're just kind of watching a little bit more of it, and then we're actually going to be switching over to a podcast in just a little bit. It's going to be a really, really interesting subject, a little bit more heady. If anybody's interested in that, going to be talking about disordered eating and these women making an absolute mockery of it. There's a woman on there, must be over 300 pounds, claiming she's anorexic. It's absolutely absurd. Another one of those 300-pound anorexics.
I'll try to do me and Chantal more vlogs, outside lives and videos.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, after the weather is start to be cooler.
They're closing it down. It's late. It's late. The place is shutting down for the night.
This last part, so we can leave from here.
Oh, can we?
Yeah, to the beach direct,
Oh, nice.
right away.
Okay, and I just want to show you a little
Strawberries.
clip from
This
her
is so
treadmill.
inspiring, Salah. Thank you
Foodie's
for
treadmill.
taking her.
All right, so this is basically the end of the Science Museum. Let's watch the very short clip of Foodie's treadmill, and then we're going to go on to the second element of the night. So let me show this very briefly.
Well, I had one today earlier, and now I'm running to the washroom. Lettuce is bad for IBS. Oh, great. I should just make liquid food and just be done with it. Okay, so let's get this over with. All right, I'm feeling a bit better. I was annoyed, but it's wearing off now. So I bleached the bottom of my shoes.
So Foodie is going to use her treadmill. Let's see how this goes.
See here, I'm coming for you, treadmill.
Foodie did get a treadmill.
This is what I'm working
Yes,
out
she did.
in. Get excited. Let's stretch a bit.
Yes, another one just like Tess Holiday.
I'm bloated. Okay, let's stretch a bit. I don't know what stretches to do for this. There we go.
There, that's the stretches. You like the stretches? That was all the stretches. There you go.
Let's step on this thing. Ooh, creaky creak. Get that six pack.
Get that six pack.
Ooh.
Okay, now what does Foodie look like when she puts on this clip?
Okay. So that's what it looks like. Wait, let me just fix you guys.
She's got to put on the safety clip.
Need a new tripod as well. Starting.
She doesn't know how to get it working.
It's not off to a good start. What the fuck? Hold on. Oh,
I love music. It's fun, right?
Donkey. Maybe my shoes make it too heavy.
Oh, here's what I think it was. I think because
Maybe I'm too fat for it.
here's what I think it was. Because of the new treadmill, she probably didn't want to. She probably thought the treadmill was gonna get like dirty or something would get stuck on the tread. So she figured if she cleaned off her shoes, it would keep the treadmill clean. That's all I can think. I don't really know exactly.
Oh. I think I'm too fat. I'm not even kidding. It's like lagging.
So yeah, the treadmill doesn't really start up at first. So the treadmill doesn't really start for her at first. In fairness to Foodie, any treadmill is going to struggle a little bit on the very lowest speed because it needs to get a little bit of momentum going. But she's so heavy that it probably was not able to start with her standing on it. I don't think this treadmill is going to last for very long if Foodie continues to use it. That's the question. How long is Foodie going to use the treadmill? How many more days is it going to last? Is it going to be even 2-3 more? If that's it, the treadmill should be okay. But if she actually uses this for any stretch of time, it's going to break. There's no way it can support this kind of... It just is barely working as is.
At 2 speed.
Yeah, right? That's slowing it down. Welcome in, Empress Shavinin. Let me turn on the volume just a little bit. This is much louder than the other video.
I think I'm too fat.
Welcome in.
No, it's going fine. Whew.
Those shoes are just too heavy, Jamie.
Speed 2.0. It's supposed to be 150 kg.
2 days, that's sciatica. I like that prediction.
Safety clip?
Oh, here. Okay. What does she look like with this clip on? What does she look like? I'm going to pull up a picture of who she looks like. I want everybody in the chat to guess who I think she looks like. Tell me who you think she looks like. As soon as she put this clip on, I immediately saw a mental image of somebody. I'm going to pull it up.
If I fall, let's see what my heart rate is. How many calories did I burn? My pulse is 89. 98. 101. 107. 110. 113. I just let him. I'm so out of shape.
Okay, who do you think she looks like? Tell me. It's a character from a movie. Anybody? All right, I'm about to show it to you. Bear. That with the little red thing. Doesn't the little red thing make her look just like it? Don't you see it? Look. You see that? I'm seeing it. The little red tie makes her look just like it. Yeah, I know the hat is different, but this little neckerchief thing, it looks just like it to me. All right.
What's the max heart rate? I'm a little over, yeah. So maybe that's why with the shoes it was too heavy or something? I don't know, it was beeping. How many calories? Let's see what it says. 5! All this suffering for 5 calories?
Oh, I heard that, yes.
I'm never eating
Salah's
food
bathroom
again.
in our bathroom. I think Foodie actually believes, I know some of you also are questioning, Foodie I think is delusional enough to believe she can somehow burn enough calories by walking to make up for the food that she eats. The way that Foodie eats, well, first of all, anybody here know how many calories you burn in an hour of walking? An hour of running? An hour of jogging? It depends. I'll let you folks put your numbers in the chat, and then I'll share what I've read it is. Because I guess the numbers vary depending how much you weigh, depending how fast you run, that kind of thing. But then we could give an estimate for how many hours you think Foodie would need to jog or run to burn off what she eats in a day. Give me your estimates in the chat,
That burns off one
please.
chip.
And leave it. And
In a week
if you're
you'll be
watching the replay, leave a comment with what you think Foodie would, how much jogging you think Foodie would need to do to burn off enough calories to get herself so that she would lose weight for the average day.
No limit. Yeah. Usually even at a gym, like we got a professional one that you would find at a gym because they usually hold my weight better. But even at the gym, it does that. I don't think I'm too fat for this. So even like when I was going to the gym, the treadmill
the heart rate.
would.
Geez, actually, that's a good question. What's the maximum safe heart rate? I don't really know. Like 170? That sounds probably like I wouldn't. If it was any higher than that, I'd be nervous. I mean, even 170 is pretty high. I guess like 150 is pretty high. Like anything around there, I'd be getting a little nervous.
Seemed like it wasn't working as well. Probably wasn't too fat. So I'm walking at 1.8, 9 calories. It's at this point when you're so out of shape that it gets discouraging. You know what I mean?
That's fair, Foodie. That's a fair point.
Slow and steady.
That's a fair point that it gets discouraging when you get
Yeah,
so
they're
big.
so-
But Foodie, remember this. It took how many years to get heavy? That's what I always tell. That's what I told myself when the going got tough. When I was trying to lose weight and I got frustrated. And that's what I would tell anybody. How many years did it take to gain all that weight? You didn't gain it overnight. You didn't gain it in a month. You can't lose it in a month. It took years to put it on. I mean, for most people it did. And if you put it on in a month, it'll probably only take a month to get it off, right? But if it takes years to gain hundreds of pounds, it's going to take at least a year to lose it, right?
Put down a little more. Yeah, you're right. Someone my weight would usually. I wonder if I can program my weight. There's a
Notice
program
Mom
button.
burning it up there.
Because-
That's nice.
man.
That's very good running. It's a very good pace.
How high tech is that? Yes.
120 hours, probably.
Oh, it smells like food. It smells perfumey a bit. Oh no, just my imagination. I'm sorry if I missed you. I'll talk to you guys after I don't.
I think that's
stop
a good
going.
tip, Nutty. I think that Foodie, 10 minutes on the treadmill is actually, in my opinion, not a bad idea. But I still like the idea of water aerobics more. I think water aerobics is the best possible exercise for Foodie. I think that walking on this treadmill is probably the second best. So I'm not against her walking on the treadmill. I think that's good. But I think that even for Foodie, she's going to have to increase the amount. 10 minutes a day is a good start, but I think even for her, she's going to want to increase that at least for a little while until she eventually gets up to maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then that might be a better increment to work with regularly. But yeah, I agree, Nutty. She needs to be careful because she's so heavy. She could take herself out.
You know what's wrong right now? My lower back.
Good evening, Pix.
Hurts
Hope
me.
you're having a good night. Thank you for
It's
coming in.
always horrible the first few weeks. 15
Welcome in.
calories. Tilt your pelvis forward. Oh yeah, that does help a bit. Thank you. Now
That's
my
true.
legs are hurting. 7 minutes already though. I'm not eating anything for the rest of the night. I'm really full, but I had a hefty meal. Whew, I'll tell you what
That's
I ate
very
after.
fair. Welcome in, middle of nowhere. Hope you're having a
Don't
good
do
night.
any more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, 50 pounds in a year is actually, that's a good weight loss. That's a very healthy weight loss. I think a lot of people expect to lose weight a little bit too fast, but that's like what, 1 pound a week? That's excellent. I mean, I wouldn't be my goal would not be my goal would not be much more than that. Back when I was trying to lose some weight, I was probably only losing about maybe 1.5 pounds a week, and as a man who was not hugely overweight, but for me that was a good weight loss, and it took me about a year to get the weight off that I needed to.
I'll do 10 minutes increments for now, because when I started at the gym, remember when I went through my era where I had a personal trainer, George? He only started me on 10.
I'm saying a prayer for you, Fiona's mom. Hopefully you get some good news. I know you've been going through a lot lately.
Minutes.
But hopefully you can get some good news.
Maybe even 5. I can't remember. That was so bad for me. I couldn't even. Oh, let me see what my heart rate is. 84. Oh, it's not high enough. 87. My body part's hurting.
Agreed.
That's slowing me down.
Her body part is hurting. What body part is hurting when she says that? That's so weird the way she said that. My body part is hurting. Isn't that like a weird way to... That's just like such a weird syntax. My body part is hurting. Who talks like that?
84. Oh, it's not high enough. 87. My body part's hurting.
My body part's hurting. That's just so weird. Like, what do you think she means? Her body part is hurting. Oh, and by the way, the number of hours a day Foodie would have to jog, by my calculations, she would have to jog about 28 hours a day. About 28 hours a day of jogging. So I don't think she's going to be able to do that much.
That's slowing me down.
Her body
Let's
part
increase
is
a little
hurting.
more.
Okay.
For the next 2 minutes.
That would actually at least get her to do a little something, I think. Welcome in, Empress Shabanin. If I didn't welcome you in already.
No incline. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, even exercising for Foodie's high risk. Oh, no problem at the East. I can understand.
Oh, my arms.
Be safe out there. You have a good night.
I hate being in this shape. I honestly have a bit of a fear of exercise.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's like weird, I know.
Thank you very much, Pix. Hello to you.
These are 6-pack coming. Yeah. I love this. I love this treadmill, babe. Whenever I lose more weight, it'll probably work better with shoes. Right now I have socks.
Mouse toes, what I say, even if for somebody like Foodie, and I know that some people would say, well, she's so heavy she can't afford to wait. And in her case, that's true. But in a perfect world, I would say that just focus on stopping gaining. That's what I did. When I was first when I wanted to get the weight off, first I said, I got to stop gaining. I got to stop gaining this weight, right? So that's what I did first. And I just kind of cut out the junk food. I cut out the sweets. I cut out the sodas, the candy, the fast food, the takeout. And I was still overeating, but at least I cut out the worst of the worst and I stopped gaining. And then I started to get it more under control, cutting down the portions and just did it bit by bit.
It doesn't hurt my feet or anything, but maybe the impact. Oh well, I'm acting like a Neanderthal today.
That is
10
true.
minutes.
She's the worst.
Let's do a bonus minute. Okay, stop.
No problem, Pix. Thank you for coming in. Welcome in, Brina D622.
We can do another 10 minutes.
Allergic to exercise?
I think it was.
Well, is that why she's so swollen and sweating? And she's like breaking, I mean, because Foodie looks like she's having an allergic reaction. Is that to the exercise?
20-something, babe. But the thing is, without
the fupa, yes. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. I know. I mean, why is it I thought that? She said her body part is hurting. Does she kneeing herself in the fupa? Is that what it is? Because if that's what it is, she should get some knee pads. Or she should get some fupa pads or something. I know it sounds so silly. I'm trying to be respectful a little bit, but that's my body part hurts. I'm sorry, Chantal. That just sounds so funny.
Your weight
fupa hurts.
Because people who are very heavy, they burn more calories than thinner people when they're doing this kind of exercise because we're carrying so much weight. So it's like someone exercising with 200 extra pounds on their back. You know?
That would be odd, but I mean, I guess that's possible. Like it's down by the legs, certainly. Right?
Oh, I'm an inspiration? Really? Maybe not yet, but hopefully soon.
Okay, so now so that's our foodie coverage for the night. A lot of foodie tonight. But now I've got something that I think is going to be hopefully a treat for you folks. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's going to be a podcast talking about disordered eating, but it's going to be from the world's heaviest anorexics. I know I'm not supposed to use that word on YouTube, but the heck with it. All right, let me get my bumper on and let me pull up the podcast. And I think you're going to really like it. I can't make any promises, but I think it's going to be really good. So let me get this pulled up. 1 second here. Get my playlist open. It's called The Fabulous Fatties. That's the name of the broadcast.
Feeling unseen, feeling unheard.
Our relationships with food growing up and what recovery looks.
I'm very excited about our taste buds this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me share the tab. All right, this is now. Let me give a trigger warning. I don't normally do this, but this might be triggering for some people. This talks about eating disorders, and it's also very infuriating. There's some real misinformation that gets spread in this video here. This woman here is the anorexic, and she doesn't say that she used to be anorexic. She doesn't say, "Oh, I was once anorexic, and and now I've gained a lot of weight." She says that she is currently anorexic, and that she doesn't understand why people don't believe her when she says she's anorexic. So let's let her explain a little bit of her story. Again, if anybody here is triggered by any of this, I perfectly understand if you don't want to watch this. I'm going to try to get a few laughs here, but I might get a little bit frustrated at some points because some of what these ladies said actually bothered me a little bit. But I'm not going to get too angry. I'm just going to try to keep it fun. So with that said, let's watch The Fabulous Fatties.
For sure. Okay. To get started, this week we're going to be talking about eating disorders and disordered eating, especially because
is the volume good on this? I can decrease it if this is too loud.
This week, when this episode comes out, is Eating Disorder Awareness Week. So,
and in my opinion, that's extra insulting. That's especially insulting. For Eating Disorder Awareness Week, they're going to do this show basically making mockery of a serious issue.
We kind of want to do our part to educate and learn and just kind of talk about our relationships with food growing up and what recovery looks like. So I definitely want to start the episode with a trigger warning. We're going to follow what I consider to be group rules, meaning whenever you go into a support group, you never know someone's diagnosis. So when we talk about things, they're going to be very specific.
Oh, wow.
We're going to not talk about numbers. We're going to keep a safe space. Self-harm might come up.
Please,
Eating disorders are definitely going to come up.
And let me turn on the volume just a little bit. Actually, I think it's a little bit loud now. Yes, please, Lady Nighthawk. If you folks are enjoying the show, please leave a like. Let me know. Let folks know if you're enjoying it. Yeah, Foodie is absolutely going to keel over at one point with this. It's not going to last long. Let me get this back on.
Up today, so there will be some heavy topics.
But
I can assure you that we are going to do our absolute best to speak to it in a factual manner and speak to it in a really raw and authentic way. So it's a difficult topic, but we hope you stay and have the conversation with us.
I don't know, Catsy. Welcome, Big Catsy.
Let's get in.
With that said, I think we volley it to you.
Okay, so our first
right
disordered eater.
If you have been listening, I'm like, if you have been listening, or if you're just joining us, so Alyssa, I know that we talked about this in several previous episodes, right? But you know, we've all had our own, journeys with dieting and disordered eating, and
good point, Jenna.
Doing terrible things to our bodies for the sake of taking up less space, right?
Okay, this part here bothered me too. Doing stuff to our bodies for the sake of taking up less space. Well, of course your diet failed. Who here goes on a diet and says, yeah, why are you on a diet? I want to take up less space. Huh? You're on a diet because you want to be healthy. You want to take up less space. Well, then if you die, you'll take up a lot less space. If you get too fat and you have a heart attack and you die, you're going to take up way less space. So good work on your quest.
But you are our resident, for lack of a better word, our resident expert, or at least our most recent.
Yeah.
And I would love it if, just to kind of kick us off here, if you could tell us a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, going a little bit into your story.
Yeah. So I think it's important to start with that I have an eating disorder. My specific diagnosis is atypical anorexia.
Okay.
What makes atypical anorexia different from anorexia nervosa, which is your movie anorexia.
Sure.
I think that's the way it's really portrayed in movies.
See, she has the real anorexia, not that movie anorexia, not that kind with people who are skinny. That's the kind you see in movies. That's not the real anorexia, not like she has.
Someone who's severely underweight. The only thing that makes atypical anorexia different from that is that I don't present underweight. That is the only thing.
The only difference. The only difference. She doesn't eat anything. She's anorexic, same as any anorexic. The only difference is she doesn't look underweight.
Already offensive to me.
It is, and we are going to talk about it today. I have never had the opportunity to talk about my eating disorder with fat people, and recovery and the eating disorder world is just so innately fat phobic, and it's definitely
Nobody believes her.
It's definitely
Exactly.
affected my recovery, and it's definitely affected the way I process things. But there's going to be a lot of things that come up today that are going to feel icky. And when they do, I would love it if you say something, because I've just been surrounded by people who are like, well, yeah, like that's the diagnosis. That's what makes it different. And I'm like, so it makes it different because I'm not underweight. Now, of course, there's some people who have atypical anorexia.
So people, she's upset because people act like her anorexia is somehow different than someone like Eugenia Cooney. Her anorexia is different. Why do people treat her that way? Let's hear her explain why.
To me, look like they're in normal bodies, right?
Sure.
They're
and
in,
there's air quotes there.
Yeah,
just
there
FYI.
is air quotes for our listeners. The more socially acceptable body that will also fall into the atypical category.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So the only thing that makes atypical different is that you're not in the severe underweight category, which is not a lot of people.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
So because there's only a small number of people who are underweight with anorexia, we need to broaden the term, because too many people are being, what is this? What is she even talking about? This makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. If you're quote unquote anorexic, like she is saying, but you're not underweight, how exactly are you anorexic? I want to hear, let's let her explain how she's anorexic, because you're probably saying to yourself, well, what, don't you have to not eat? Like, isn't that part of it? Let's let her explain how she does that.
Well, I just think it's interesting because I really thought that the definitions would be based off behaviors.
Right.
Yeah.
For the most part, they are.
Not, so it almost seems like, and this is just me as someone who's never been in the
underweight,
eating disorder world, especially in terms of clinical like settings with it, right? It almost seems like a weird add-on they made once they realized that people of different bodies have the same behavior.
Yes. Yeah,
like they had to like
come up with another name.
They had to, once again, put us in a different group.
You're right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's
and
it.
that came up a lot for me in treatment.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, when you're with people who have gone to extremes to
All
not.
right, this part says this came up a lot for her in treatment. Thank you for somebody in the chat said something similar of this. But what is the treatment? How much, like Jamie says, how much weight has she lost being anorexic? So what is the treatment then? If this atypical anorexia doesn't cause you to lose weight, what does recovery look like? How will she know if she's recovering from her anorexia if she doesn't have to, when will she be cured? Like, when will she be healthy? And how much weight does she need to gain before she'll be safe from this anorexia returning?
Be fat, right? So like that theme comes up a lot. But to really get started, I have atypical anorexia. So anorexia in the sense that I restrict my food intake to the extreme, and push my body as far as I can go without food.
So here you go. So she is saying, just for any, because I was not sure what she meant. Somebody said, what makes her anorexia atypical? Well, apparently she restricts her food extremely. And what was the other thing she did?
And push my body as far as I can go without food.
She pushes her body as far as she can go without food. So she must be going for long periods of time without eating, apparently. That's what she says. Like, and again, I don't want to put words in this woman's mouth. I don't want to mislead anybody as to what she's saying. But it sounds to me like she's claiming she doesn't eat. Is that what she's claiming? Because that's what it sounds like.
I did this for a really long time. Through recovery, my earliest memory of my body and noticing that my body was different.
Okay, thank you, Lucy
was
Jane.
probably in elementary school around like.
Despite weight loss, so there's still weight loss involved, though. Thank you for looking that up. So even by the definition of atypical anorexia, there's still weight loss involved. So I'm not sure what she's talking about. I mean, I'd be interested to know some before and afters. Did she used to be much heavier? But let's listen to her story. She says that all of her life she's had this. Let's let her explain when she was a child how this began.
Noticing that my body was different was probably in elementary school around like fourth grade. Third, fourth grade. And my first memory is actually in fifth grade of like kids making fun of me one day at school for like being fat or like not, like not looking the certain way or whatever. And I definitely remember sitting at lunch that day and looking at my food, and I thought I was such a big brain move because I was like, I don't have to eat this. Like no one's gonna know.
Listen to this. This is I think this one incident defined this entire woman's life. She says she had this food at lunch and kids were making fun of her, so she decided, if I don't eat this, nobody will know. No, everybody will know if you don't eat that because you're going to lose a bunch of weight. And after you lose the weight, everybody's going to realize that you must have been on a diet. So everybody will know if you don't eat it. So her logic, even as a child, was fundamentally incorrect. Somebody should have educated her and said, no, people will know if you don't eat it. People will eventually figure it out.
So I threw out my entire lunch because then my mom thought I ate it. Right?
So she threw out her lunch and told her mom she ate it. And then what happened? Then did you go home and eat dinner?
And I went home with an empty lunchbox. Yeah. But really, I just tossed it during lunch when no one was like looking. Mm-hmm. So, not that I had an eating disorder when I was in fifth grade, but definitely signs of disordered eating and disordered feelings around food.
Well, it sounds like you immediately at least linked how people perceive my body.
So she threw her lunch away. And then she went home and ate normally. Apparently. So apparently she just threw her lunch away and then went home and ate something else. And that causes her to think she's anorexic. Agreed, Nutty. These people are absolutely delusional. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we're going to watch a little bit more of it at least.
Is a result of food.
Let this go a little bit deeper.
And so,
because this gets even better. I watched at least I watched more than half of this thing. It just gets even crazier.
I was thinking like whenever I was young and I realized I was fat, it did not immediately connect to food. So that's interesting to hear that yours did.
How did it connect for you?
I think because I had been big always, like I was a big 2-year-old, a big 3-year-old, it almost just made me feel, I didn't feel like it was from one of my behaviors or one of my things I did or anything I did. I just thought I was. And that like my whole family was big. So.
Yeah, her whole family was big. So it couldn't be from anything she did. It had to just be natural.
I just felt like it was a natural thing that I was bigger than everyone else. It wasn't until I was older that I thought, oh, people are assuming or thinking that it's from what I'm eating or lack of movement or something, So, so when I was young, it was just definitely like, oh, it's me, but it's also my whole family. My whole family's just big, and so we are, just different than others.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost. You know what? I'm just thinking this in my head. I'm talking out loud. I'm thinking this idea. I don't know if I want to own it fully. But almost the same way that like someone might be like, oh, I'm just ugly and it's nothing I can change or do about it. It was like, oh, I'm big and there's nothing I can change or do about it. I just am.
Oh, it was a fact for you.
Yeah, it was just a fact. It was
a fact of being.
This doesn't make
interesting.
Makes sense. I want to. You said something that I want to go back to.
Thank you, Jamie.
And just
yes,
ask it of you, and then kind of ask it of everybody.
I think you
made
hit
a
on the head,
distinction
Nutty.
between, you said I don't think I had an eating disorder in fifth grade, but I was practicing disordered eating.
Yes. Yeah.
That was something for me in the last year or two that I really started to understand that.
Yeah. I'm not trying to glorify anything here. And if I'm wrong about anything, please correct me. I'm really just trying to be as straight up as I can be on this subject, because I think it's a subject worth being, everything I know about anorexia, it's like the people with that disease, they don't even want to look at food. They don't even want to be around the food, and just simply pretending that they ate something and then going home and eating anyway is not the same thing. This woman just wants to claim the title. It's like that stolen valor military thing. And I'm not comparing anorexia to being in the military or anything like that, obviously. But I'm not even trying to compare them. I'm just saying though that it's similar in the sense that people are trying to claim an experience they didn't have. This woman has decided that she wants to claim the title of having this particular eating disorder. That's what I get the feeling. Like she watched a movie about anorexia and decided that's what I want to be. I don't know why she decided that, but that's what she's decided for some reason.
Disordered eating. I had put my body through
they feel left
terrible
out.
things, through fad diets, through crash diets, through all kinds of things, right? And just thinking, oh, I'm just dieting. It's whatever, it's fine. But like, I'm eating 500 calories a day. Like that's not okay, right?
Okay, this part here just doesn't make sense to me. She's eating 500 calories a day, but are you really? Is that hypothetical or is that the case? I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't, but they're freely mixing hypothetical situations with reality.
Through all kinds of things, right? And just thinking, oh, I'm just dieting. It's whatever, it's fine. But like, I'm eating 500 calories a day. Like that's not okay, right? And so I guess I would love for you to kind of expand on that a little bit, just again from your, from kind of your clinical.
Yeah.
And then I do want to ask it of you two as well.
I'm sorry to hear that, Nutty, and that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that kids can be mean. I think we've all had to deal with people being mean at least at one point, and it's unfortunate. And I just hope that that now we can all, now that we're all older, we're all maybe a little bit wiser. We're in a better place, and we have more control over ourselves and over our surroundings. That's all we can try to do, right? As time goes on. And I've got a feeling that the kids were just being kids. I hope that it wasn't anything. They were just being dumb kids, right? Kids are stupid.
Knowing both of you and your histories with dieting and all the things as well too, just kind of your distinction for yourself and where you guys kind of fell on that journey too.
I think at least my hope is that it's going to be really clear the more we get into this episode and really dive into eating disorders, the difference. But I think
you're right.
I'm pretty sure that the
thank you very much, Hannibal.
Medical
diagnosis wonderful night too.
Difference between
I'll be around
the two
later, hopefully.
Comes down to
thank you
how
so
much it is affecting your life.
Okay.
Right? So there can be disordered eating and you're dieting and you're exercising and you're restricting, right? And that's disordered, right?
Hold on. Notice how she says if you diet and you exercise, that's disordered. Okay. Notice how she's playing very fast and loose with the definitions here. A minute ago, anorexia was defined as an eating disorder. Now, diet and exercise of any amount is being defined as an eating disorder. Notice how they shift the goalposts. Let's hear her explain it again. What does she qualify as an eating disorder? Let her explain this while I grab a seltzer.
Okay. Comes down to how much it is affecting your life.
Okay.
Right? So there can be disordered eating and you're dieting and you're exercising and you're restricting, right? And that's disordered, right?
Yes.
Even though that is a hot take.
Popularized, yeah.
That's going to be a
popularized.
hot take for some of our listeners. I promise we'll get into it. But that is disordered versus going to the extent where I'm counting how many calories I'm taking in the day and then literally making myself exercise until I burn all of that off.
Okay, again, this sounds hypothetical to me. Counting how many calories you eat in a day, that's good. Trying to burn off every single calorie you eat in a day is disordered. Sure. But ma'am, with all due respect, when's the last time you actually attempted that? When's the last time this woman here actually did that? Because she's taking credit for it. She's taking credit for a disorder that I don't think she has. And I'm not trying to say that it's that you should be proud to have a disorder or anything like that. It just feels like she's trying to claim something that isn't hers.
regardless of the
like, I don't think she ever had, like, I think that's something that she saw in a movie. I think she saw a movie about an anorexic person, or maybe she had a friend who was an anorexic, or maybe she read about somebody online talking about how they exercised to burn off every calorie that they ate, and she's decided to claim that story as her own now.
Where I'm counting how many calories I'm taking in the day, and then literally making myself exercise until I burn all of that off.
Yeah, so she's not saying she heard this. She's saying this is her life story. She is literally tracking her calories, then forcing herself to exercise till she burns off every calorie, but she has never been underweight. At least not that I know of. If she ever was underweight, she hasn't made us aware of this.
Regardless of the signals my body is sending me, that's an eating disorder.
Okay.
Well, welcome in, Skinny Queen.
We're part.
Good to see you. Hopefully
we passed.
Good to see you, Skinny Queen. This is my friend Sarah Jade. Skinny Queen reacts to the chat here. Good friend of the channel. Hopefully you're doing well. I know you haven't been feeling your best lately, Skinny Queen, but hopefully we can cheer you up a little bit tonight, right? Have a little fun. Sit your feet up and relax and enjoy the show a bit.
The mainstream diet culture at that point.
Okay.
We are in the danger zone. So I think when we talk about it, when you look at things, it depends. It really goes
That's
to
a good question, Jamie. I would like to know. She acts like she says stories that would make you think that she was, but then she claims that she still is experiencing all of this. She plays very loose with the facts. I can't really say for sure when any of this took place, because she kind of just there's no dates for any of this stuff.
Dangerous. How in it were you? I mean, I was literally going hours without any food, to the point where, like, I'm going to fall out, right?
She's going literally hours without any food, to the point where she's going to pass out. She's going literal hours without eating. This is what anorexia looks like, people. Don't think that it's like in the movies where they have people who are skinny and underweight who don't eat for days at a time. That's a movie thing. In real life, this is what real anorexia. I shouldn't even say that, because you could misquote me, take me out of context. That is not what I'm saying. I'm being sarcastic. I would think this was a comedy sketch, but I think it would be too offensive. If this was a comedy sketch, this would get pulled off the air, because it would be too offensive. But this is just so, I actually am getting a little bit, like, angry. Like, I don't like to get angry. I like to laugh and have fun at the show, but this is actually bothering me just a little bit here. This really is just really, I don't like this. I'm really not enjoying this.
You're gonna pass out, but, like, I'm still not gonna eat. I'm good. If I'm just chilling at home all day, I don't need food. I'm not doing anything.
Right.
So I'm not gonna pass out. I don't need to eat anything. I can live with the hunger and stay where I'm comfortable all day long. And then, okay, maybe tomorrow when I get up for work, I'll have, like, an apple and a granola bar.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was...
Maybe I'll get off work and have an apple and a granola bar. I'm not trying to play who's the real anorexic, but I mean, an apple and a granola bar, that's what I eat, like, when I'm on a diet. Like, I eat that way sometimes, and I don't consider myself anorexic. Like, according to this woman, if you eat an apple and a granola bar, you're an anorexic. That's basically what that is a lie. That's just not true. She's making crap up. This is misinformation. And why is it that YouTube is doing nothing about this? Why is YouTube simply putting up this little post here for the National Alliance for Eating Disorders, when this video is essentially mocking everything this number is supposed to stand for? Everything this alliance allegedly stands for is being made a mockery of by this video. This is disturbing.
It was a game.
Seeing what you could get away with.
How long you can go, how far you can push. And then you got the, eating disorders are so secretive and so manipulative. So then it's like, okay, well, I got to eat dinner at my parents' house, or, like, we're doing dinner together. So I'm not going to eat all day leading up to it, because I'm going to have to eat in front of everyone.
Right.
Right?
That means that you went literally hours between meals. How did you not pass out? You should go on this panel and relate your experience, your harrowing experience.
Yeah. House, or, like, we're doing dinner together. So I'm not going to eat all day leading up to it because I'm going to have to eat in front of everyone.
Right.
So she would go a whole day without eating. She would fast all day because she would have to eat a big meal later. That's what people who, okay, there's people who, if they're tight on money, will intentionally not eat, so if they go to a free meal later, they can overeat at the free meal. I did that times when I was tight on money when I was younger. Yeah, there were times I did that when I went to like a party and overate because I knew there would be a bunch of food later. That doesn't make you an anorexic. That just makes you somebody who's trying to save a few dollars on food. This woman is so, it's like she saw a movie about anorexia and decided to copy that and say that, this is her life. This is insulting.
Right?
Yeah.
It was integrated into every single aspect of my life.
Yeah.
Versus when I was 5, it was comments about food, and then I threw my lunch away, and then I went home and ate dinner.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I love how they just say, yeah, sure. Like, it's like they're, instead of saying, wait a minute, you went home and ate dinner. I thought you threw your lunch out. What? Instead they're all like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. Of course. This is just, these women are just, on the panel, are clearly just going to agree with everything she says. There's not any pushback at any point.
Aspect of my life.
Yeah.
Versus when I was 5, it was comments about food, and then I threw my lunch away, and then I went home and ate dinner.
Sure.
It wasn't in that red danger zone at that
Yeah,
point.
it wasn't in the danger zone yet. It was still in the fantasy zone. This woman is so delusional, and these other ones here are just they're just loving it. They're just loving it.
Yeah,
Somebody's crazier than them.
disordered eating. I almost look at it like the gateway drug, because I think it's such a slippery slope.
And it's an important distinction to make because as someone who
I'm so sorry, Fiona's mom. Maybe we can get some hearts in chat for Fiona's mom. I know she's really been going through it. And for anybody who's been struggling, anybody who's dealing with the hurricane right now, I know a lot of people are dealing with a lot of mess out there right now. We're watching this show, letting it get us upset about this crap. But yeah, let's try to remember though that there's people who are really dealing with real stuff, and let's try to put our prayers and our hopes and all that, the good energy we have into that instead, right? Let's focus on something positive. Let's not let let's have a few laughs at this show, even though it's actually angering me in some ways. Let's not let it bother us, right? This everything about this show makes no sense, right? Welcome in, McGeezy. Hopefully you're having a good evening. Oh, welcome in, Fadnam. I don't think I welcomed you in earlier. And welcome into anybody I missed. My apologies. And thank you for everybody for all you wonderful chatters and lurkers and everybody watching the replay. You're all very much appreciated.
never thought like, yeah, I put my body through a lot of shit, but I never had an eating disorder, right? Never had an eating disorder. But then looking through it again.
So what can we name it then?
Right?
Yeah.
But like looking through it again, eating 500 calories a day or being terrified to be making dinner and to lick a spoon or to taste the sauce. Like, oh my God.
I don't believe this. I don't believe that has ever happened. And if that happened one time in your life, that doesn't mean that that's a regular. She is saying, this woman seriously wants us to believe that when she is cooking in the past, that she would be terrified to lick the spoon. And maybe there was a time in her life when that did occur. And if that did occur, I'm glad that she is no longer suffering from that disorder. But she is clearly, trying to think of the right word for this. It's been an overcorrection. If she used to be at 500 calories a day, which is too little, unless you're on a very, like even for Dr. Now, he puts them on 800. Over restricting is not good, but she has done such a massive overcorrection. The opposite, if something is wrong, doing the opposite is not automatically correct. If starving yourself is wrong, eating until you explode is not correct.
How do I track that lick? Like I can't put
Obsessive.
that.
Very much, Fiona's mom.
Put
It's
a lick
insulting.
in MyFitnessPal, right? And so I do think it's an important distinction because I do think there are people that don't, because I'm one of them, that didn't realize that I was practicing disordered eating.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing I think that's interesting. We've been talking about, Alyssa, because you so publicly shared your story with eating disorder so far. that is not to say Alyssa's the only one in this group that's had, you know,
Exactly.
an eating
And that's why
disorder
we're
or
doing it.
disordered eating,
Yeah.
right? And
oh, by the way, thank you. I showed your video at the beginning of the show. Anybody who enjoyed that video at the beginning, definitely be sure to check out Otanki, who made that edit with Jen and Foodie there in the beginning. It was absolutely uncanny, showing how both of them were just pigging out on cheese at the end there. Very interesting
And I
edit,
think
Otanki.
that's interesting because I really don't know if I know a single person who hasn't had some kind of experience of disordered eating,
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's everyone.
Yeah.
It is every single person who's ever been on a diet. I think that's what's so interesting about this.
Every single person who's ever been on a diet. You hear how they start out by claiming disordered eating is one thing, and then they say it's something else, and now disordered eating is anybody who's ever been on a diet? That's not disordered eating. Disordered eating is, I don't need to explain what it is. I think we've explained it enough at this point. And I'm not an expert either, so I don't want to start getting into details and anything too specific. But if you're on a diet, that's not disordered. Disordered eating is when you're eating to gain massive amounts of weight. If you're gaining massive amounts of weight, that's disordered eating. That's a type of disordered eating. There's many types of disordered eating. And just because one kind is disordered doesn't make the opposite healthy. Just because it's disordered to starve yourself doesn't mean it's healthy to feed yourself till you explode.
Episode is that there will be a lot of people being like, oh, like eating disorders really doesn't have anything to do with me, but it has something to do with everyone because this is so ingrained in our culture right now. Diet culture is the biggest monster I have ever seen.
Well, no, it's not a diet; it's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
Literally.
Yeah, I think
no, there's no word. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no words. It's so bad. It's so bad. The way we moralize food now.
It's so bad. Okay, I'm not going to say that there's no problems with the whole fitness and diet culture as she defines it. There's absolutely problems with fitness and diet culture. There's absolutely problems. In fact, one of these weeks, I'm going to go into some of them. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of profiteering. People selling junk food, claiming it's healthy. People selling unsafe diets, unsafe exercise programs, pushing a lot of hormones, drugs, steroids, implants, all kinds of cosmetic surgeries, people who really do have eating disorders. There's all kinds of stuff wrong with the fitness industry and all that. But that doesn't mean that anybody who's ever been on a diet has a disorder. That's a vast overreach and just incorrect. It's more misinformation from this show.
Like we are already in the real big danger zone for society with diet culture and eating disorders and disordered eating.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
One of the things I think that our listeners are going to struggle with
we hope so,
is
Skinny Queen.
the
We miss
idea
you.
of diets having some disordered aspects around it. And that's, I think whenever people hear that, they immediately go, okay, yeah, well, we're not talking about those LA diets where they only eat soup broth all day, you know what I mean? But the thing is, even diets that are positioned as like whole food.
Well, welcome in, Ollie's Euthanasia. I don't know if I called you coming in earlier. Hopefully you're having a good night. Thank you for coming in.
Or, nutritious things, they have elements that become disordered. They have, and especially practices that become disordered. And one of those things for me is like those hard
thank you,
right or wrong moves. Whenever, I think one of the things like I see is a lot of like villainization of certain foods. And the one that gets...
Oh, and thank you, Lucy Jane. That's something that I always thought was a good example of why I didn't believe Tess Holliday's anorexia claims. Not just because of how heavy she was, but because of how she's always filming herself eating. People, my experience, anybody can correct me if they've seen or aware of otherwise, but in my experience, people with anorexia, they're terrified to eat. They don't want to eat. You can't make them eat. You can offer them food all day and they just won't take it. Or they'll pretend to eat it or something, or they'll make an excuse why they already ate, whatever, but they don't want to eat. You can't, how is it that you could have your own social media be nothing but videos of you eating junk food and then say you're anorexic? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What doctors, I don't think, actually, they all see the same doctor. They all see the same exact doctor. I don't know the doctor's name, but they all talk about seeing the same exact doctor. So apparently there's some quack who supports this nonsense.
It's most villainized right now is like carbs and sugars, you know.
She says, carbs and sugars are villainized. Well, I will say that there are some people who take it a little bit too far. But villainized, what does she even mean by villainized? That they cause obesity? Yeah, they do. And I love carbs, but I can admit that.
Whenever, I think one of the things like I see is a lot of like villainization of certain foods, and the one that gets most villainized right now is like carbs and sugars, you know.
Well,
and I fell into that too, and it's hard not to fall into it sometimes, especially if you have family that's diabetic or something. I grew up in a household where we didn't have breads. we didn't have even lots of fruits because my dad was diabetic, and we had to keep things sugar-free, low sugar. So I've always had those foods villainized for me.
How terrible. How terrible. Because of her dad's selfish diabetes, she had to have carbs got villainized in her house. Those poor carbs.
I don't even know what it looks like to, what's the word? I don't even know how I feel about the word like moderate amounts. I don't know how I feel about that. But I definitely did keto. And when I did that, there were certain foods that were good and certain foods that were bad. But what ends up happening is, the amount that you're supposed to be eating to have ketosis, the sacred realm, right? And that if you get out of that, if you make any choice that pushes you out of that, and of course that means knowing every nutritional fact of every single thing you're putting in your mouth, then the idea was like, you're done for the day. You're no longer in ketosis. You no longer are in a state where that diet is the diet it's supposed to be. You're no longer getting the health benefits.
I love how she moralizes about ketogenic diets, and she's like, well, because the diet doesn't work if you eat carbs. It's a very judgmental diet. It's not a fair diet.
Fits of it, right? And so the non-gray area of it really made it hard. And is where I started seeing myself being like, well, I'm following this diet that my doctor told me to do. But there were lots of ways in which I had to either trick myself or come up with reasonings or say, well, I failed today, and like a lot of shame around all of that. I don't know what's really natural about eating that way.
There's nothing natural about you. Well, I will say this. Here's what I'm going to say about the ketogenic diet, and maybe this is a harsh opinion, but it maybe is not the most natural diet in some senses, but it's a solution for an unnatural problem. If you've been eating naturally your whole life, you probably would never need to go on a diet. You'd probably be healthy. But if you've been eating a lot of unnatural junk and you put on 100 pounds of excess body fat, you might need to take a little bit more, scientifically designed approach to getting the weight off. It's not just going to fall off just by eating what you want. You got to do a real program to get it to work. And natural is such a malleable term anyway. Like, what even is natural? We change the definition constantly. So, but I don't even know how I got off on this tangent. Ketogenic diet, it's a good diet. I'm not trying to say anything bad. I don't even know what I mean there.
But it's such a popularized way of eating that people will say, but there's so many health benefits.
There are health benefits.
But that means you have to track every little thing. And if your macros get to a certain extent, right, then what does that mean? Well, you no longer get health benefits that day? Nutrition doesn't count? Like, what does that mean?
So I think that struggle that we have as fat people when it comes to diet culture and when it comes to just living in general is that all these lines are so confusing. They're so set in stone, like drawn in the sand, but yet they're blurred. Mm-hmm. So it's like, where does that align? So you're fat, you can't have an eating disorder.
Yep.
But we need you to do this because you need to not be fat. So it's like there's no way to like actually.
Sugar. I have a love-hate relationship with sugar. I think most of you folks know that. I love it and I hate it. I'll just leave it with that.
Set yourself up for success.
The
and like
food rules.
The food rules.
There's so many food rules.
I mean, but even the food rules, they don't make sense. Like, you can have eggs today, but don't eat the egg white.
Okay, this part here I thought was really interesting, where she gives a list of rules about food, and they're all nonsensical. Where'd she get these rules? Don't eat the egg white. Who says don't eat egg whites? I've never heard that.
Now you can have that, but now don't eat the yolk. But no, eggs are bad. You'll get salmonella. Don't eat them at all.
Yeah, well, nobody says don't eat eggs because you're going to get salmonella. They say don't eat raw eggs, and even that's questionable. But you could always find an exception to every rule. That doesn't mean the rule is wrong.
Hard boil only, and then actually never mind.
Just kidding. We were joking about that. Like, drink your water, but don't drink too much. You'll float away.
Yeah, who says don't drink too much water? I mean, and who seriously is in danger of drinking too much water? They're straw manning the fitness arguments.
No, and make sure you start your day with your lemon water before you have anything else because it will start your metabolism.
But don't add too much cinnamon because there's calories in cinnamon and we don't know how to count those.
Oh my God, I'm literally getting like worked up as you're saying it because in recovery we refer to that as like the food police.
Yeah.
Right? Like the food police is going to come and write you a ticket because you're doing the wrong thing with food.
Yes, but none of us know what to do and every single body is different.
None of us know what to do. Every single body is different. That's a bit of a cop-out. Every single body is different. Sure, but everybody has some similarities as well. I don't know anybody who doesn't derive energy from calories. Every body runs on calories. We can all agree on that. Everybody could turn fats and carbs and protein into energy if they need to. And yeah, there's some things we all have in common. And I don't want to, the more I talk about science, the more chance I'm going to get something wrong. So I'm just going to leave that for now.
And there's so many rules, and then you wonder why we fuck up.
But they act like...
Oh, this one here is the leader, by the way. This one here is the leader. I think it's her show. This one here, if anybody wondering.
Those rules apply to everyone.
Exactly, and they don't.
Instead of acknowledging, right, that even you and I, who are very similar in size and whatever, right, our bodies respond differently to different things, right? Our bodies respond differently. Our bodies respond differently. But exactly like you're saying, they want to just blanket it out. Just everybody do this. Everybody, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Does it?
None of that, but if you have diabetes, should you eat that apple?
Oh,
she got you there. She got me there, right? Got diabetes, should you eat the apple? This is just straw manning. The
natural sugars drop. Did you guys? I literally posted something on Instagram like a week ago now that was like, good morning to everyone except the people who are still worried about the sugars in their fruit or something like that. And I was like, this is so relatable because like eat your fruit, but like not too much. Like eat your fruit, but like also not after 3 p.m.
Right.
I love that. Like, eat your fruit, but not too much. Yeah, don't eat too much. Like oh my goodness. There's not so much. Like if it's a healthy food, then there's no limit to how much you can eat. If it's healthy, you can eat 100 pounds of it, right? Like that's just. There's no logic here. Like
make sure you eat dinner,
eat melon, not berries, because they're high in sugar.
Yeah, and make sure you eat dinner, but not past 7 p.m.
Because they actually strawberries have less sugar, so this is where even that doesn't even make
sense.
sense.
We're spiraling.
That's our point.
Yeah. But that was a point that you brought up in, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago about like the food pyramid, right? Even from a young age. Right.
How many carbs were on that pyramid? How many carbs? I'm pretty sure I counted 12 loaves of bread, if not more. And I ate them. And they were delicious.
And you know what they help
Now
with?
You're mad at me.
No, because carbs are so great for our brain.
Not you mad at me.
Carbs are great for your brain. You need carbs for your... A minute ago, they were talking about how doctors don't really know anything, but now they're going to quote some kind of a scientific study claiming carbs are good for your brain.
But I'm just saying, society's wrong though, because when you eat carbs are really great for your brain, because I can tell you what my brain was like without carbs in my life, and it was a lot of brain fog.
And I agree, but I think there's a lot of people on the internet who would tell you that my ass is 90% bread.
It's brought to you by bread.
And I don't know that they're wrong. But it is what it is.
I love you so much. This is us normalizing food too. No, and I think this is for me. I want to, respond to that in the sense that I'm coming from a world like who would literally never make that joke. I'm in eating disorder treatment, and no one's making a joke that their ass is mainly made out of bread.
And why shouldn't they?
I know, but it's the culture of food is food.
She's saying that an eating disorder. I'm going to slow that back down. Did anybody catch that? She said that when she's in eating disorder treatment, nobody there would make that joke. None of the people in her eating disorder treatment would make. They're all so serious. Why do they act like eating disorders are so serious? Why can't they have a laugh, right? Maybe because they actually have a real eating disorder. Maybe they're not just lying and making it up for attention. Maybe they actually have a real problem, lady. Maybe that's why it's not funny to them. Maybe because they've actually suffered because of it. Let's let her say that again.
I'd literally never make that joke.
They'd never make that joke there.
This is, for me, I want to, respond to that in the sense that I'm coming from a world like who would literally never make that joke. Right. An eating disorder treatment. And
yeah, and they're so serious there. They would never make that joke. I don't know why. Why are they so serious about their disorders? Why can't they have fun like us?
No one's making a joke that their ass is mainly made out of bread.
And why shouldn't they?
I know, but it's the culture of food is bad.
Yeah.
Food is bad.
Food is fuel.
Food is fuel.
And that's it.
I have said this often throughout recovery, and I share it today because I think it gives a little bit of like the mindset.
I have not, but I will keep an eye open. I'm always looking for new people for Girl World or for recovery on the show. So yes, I will look that person up. Thank you.
But it by no means is to belittle someone else's journey or say that there are other forms of recovery that are easier, because there isn't. Recovery is a bitch for everyone.
Right.
But I've often said that I wish I was an alcoholic, because
no, that's fair. That is fair. And I'm just saying though, the way that she said it, it just came across and rubbed me the wrong way. But that's true. Yeah, everybody has to be able to joke. I'm a good example of that. I always try to make jokes about, even though this show that this lady's doing is bothering me, I'm still making jokes. So I guess maybe I'm the wrong person to say that. And I have a question, Ollie. I'm not quite understanding what you mean by good breast, bad breast. Like, do you mean like chicken breast? Like, I'm sorry, but I've never heard that term before. My apologies if
alcoholics need to avoid alcohol.
Right.
I have an eating disorder and I need to eat
food
multiple times a day. I'm sitting in front of the thing that I am so fearful of. I'm sitting in front of the thing that I don't want to do multiple times.
She wants us to believe that she doesn't really want to eat, that she's afraid to eat. Look how deceptive this look on her face is. I know that it's just a freeze frame, but does this woman look deceptive to you or not? She looks so incredibly deceptive to here when she's talking about how she doesn't actually want to eat. I don't want to eat. I have to eat every day because of my disorder, and I hate to do it. I don't believe that.
I'm sitting in front of the thing that I am so fearful of. I'm sitting in front of the thing that I don't want to do multiple times.
Yeah, I bet she's afraid of food, like she's afraid of having to lay down. Oh, I hate having to lay down and not being able to move my body. I hate when I have to do that.
A day. And you do it today, and then you got to do it again tomorrow.
Got to eat again tomorrow.
And you got to
so
do it
terrible.
again the next day.
Poor woman.
And yeah, there's that, it gets easier and you find your people and your support. But damn, it's every day.
It's a struggle forcing herself to eat every day. It's so hard for her to eat. I mean, she hates doing it, but she has to force herself every day to eat something to get her strength up, to nourish her body.
It doesn't, it's
and I
every
mean,
day.
we see that. Like, it's the only form where you're not actively avoiding. Like in all the other ones, like, don't do heroin. Like you just don't do
heroin.
It. But yours is, you gotta eat the food that you've been avoiding this whole time.
Yeah.
You gotta eat it.
Yeah.
And what? No.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
Do tell me what to do?
Exactly.
Because you're just gonna be mad at me later after I do the thing you tell me to do.
Well, society for sure is going to continue to tell me that I ate myself to my weight.
I appreciate that, Catsy, because on that one, I'm just going off what I'm hearing here. I've never actually been in an eating disorder treatment. I've been around people in recovery for various things, but that's one that I've not personally experienced.
Absolutely.
Which we had our joking moment about the guy who did the response video.
Yeah,
but the second he started talking about how we ate, what do you mean honoring your hunger cues? How did you think you got?
This woman is delusional. This woman is spreading misinformation and delusion. She doesn't understand. I mean, it's like I said, it gets me a little bit angry. I don't like to I try to have fun, but yeah, like she's just acting. She's very dismissive of everybody else's problems, but she wants everybody else to accept how serious her condition is. But she's been nothing but dismiss other people. She's not.
I said, oh sir, sir, I can't even listen to you now because that's so not my experience. I literally was medically unstable because I was not eating. I had to go.
She was not eating. She was medically unstable. Are you eating now? Like what is she trying to say though? Is now that she's recovered? Has she started eating? Like what's happened? What's changed? And if you haven't, how much weight has she gained since she stopped being anorexic? Or if she still is anorexic, here's a better question. If she's anorexic, how much weight will she need to gain before she feels she's out of the danger zone? How much weight does she feel she needs to gain before she can safely deal with her eating disorder? I'd be interested to know the number in her case.
A resident treatment facility so they can watch me eat my 3 meals and 2 snacks a day.
Okay, interesting.
Well, the problem is that guy doesn't care, you know?
No, I know.
The people who have that mentality of, oh, we just ate ourselves.
No, it's fair, Elise.
To look like this, right?
These ladies get me very frustrated as well. I think they've done nothing but mock people with real problems this entire show. And I think that it's just YouTube is so hypocritical because they're busy demonetizing and taking down channels that are providing honest critique. And then this channel here that's spreading blatant misinformation is probably monetized.
That mentality where they also, in the exact same breath, will say, oh, you know, some people are just naturally skinny.
Yeah, fat people are a monolith to them and their own logic
Why?
doesn't logic.
Make it make sense.
The math ain't
that
mathin'.
was such a mic drop moment for me, like light bulb, mind blown. The day that I realized.
Hey, welcome in, Sarah. Good evening. Thank you for coming in. Hope you're having a wonderful night.
This feels wrong.
Right.
How come my whole life I have heard, well, you know, some people are just naturally skinny? Why has no one ever said to me, some people are just naturally...
Maybe we can get a couple hearts in the chat for Elise. I know Elise's tough, but, you know, she's overcome a lot.
Naturally fat. Some
because
people
you eat too much food and you don't exercise enough. Yeah.
Because, same Rebecca, I come from a large family. I come from big bones and big boobs.
And big bellies.
And big bellies.
And
big thighs. And big calves,
butts.
And big butts.
No, big bread butts. Okay?
bread butts.
That is the way we will be
Big
referring
bread
to
butts.
Maria's butt from
Big
now
bread
on.
But triple
bread
B's.
booty.
But I just, you know, like
Fresh
it
baked
was,
big bread
it was
booty.
So, it was so mind blowing to me in that moment of like, wait, I've been lied to.
Yeah.
You know,
Make it make sense.
So
make it make sense.
So I using that, like the make it make sense, right? I know something that we can all really relate to, and I think our big listeners can relate to as well. Is I did not look for my eating disorder. I didn't.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, I didn't look in the mirror and say, "Wow, I hate my body so much that I'm gonna stop eating food."
Exactly. So she doesn't have any issue with her body. She just wants us to believe that she loves being overweight, she loves her body, but she also hates to eat, and she starves herself, and she's an anorexic. None of this makes any sense. If you love your body so much, why are you starving yourself so much? And if you're starving yourself, how are you nothing she says make any sense. All right, folks. I think it's time for me to wind it down. I just wanted you to see this show because I thought this was absolutely ludicrous. I can't watch this too often because it gets me pretty angry. But I think one of these days we're going to go back to this podcast once again because there's some pretty interesting stuff in here. Exactly. Oh, geez. They do talk a lot in those social media isms. Indeed, fallen angel. Yeah, it's not cute to see. Agreed, Empress Shavin. And I'm going to start winding it down, folks. I appreciate you all so much for coming in. I hope we had a wonderful night tonight. I certainly did. You folks are a fantastic audience. I'm going to start winding it down. Let this play out.
Okay. That's not what happened for me. Yeah, I hated my body. Yeah, I thought it was my fault. Yes, I dieted. Yes, I exercised. But every single medical provider I saw, it was always eat less, exercise more. Every single year.
Hold on a second. What that? Hold on. We're stopping it. Hold on a second. Wait a second here. All right, I'm just stopping it real quick just to say I have to come back and do this again. You know, I have to go. Good night, everybody. But this is too good. We're coming back to this another time. Good night, everybody. Yes, please leave a like if you haven't already. We're coming back to this another time. This is too good. Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.